Hey everybody, my name is BlakJak. Welcome back to Slide 2, Band of Thieves. In the last episode, we took on episode 3, The Predator Awakes, and we ended up beating Rajan. But now the issue is Sly and Murray were captured, as well as Carmelita, by the Contessa and Neela. So we 100%ed episode 3, and in this episode, we're going to begin episode 4, Jailbreak. So let's get things started.
It took a sleepless week of data crunching, but I eventually tracked down the location of my friends, locked away in the mysterious towers of Prague. At the moment, they are the unwilling guests of Interpol's most renowned prison warden, the Contessa. While still a criminal psychology student, she entered into a whirlwind romance and married a wealthy aristocrat. Sadly, the union was short-lived, as the general suspiciously died a few weeks after the ceremony. The widowed Contessa put her education and newly acquired estate to work by opening a criminal rehabilitation center. Her pioneering use of hypnotherapy has produced some good results, and subsequently earned her a prominent position within Interpol. My friends are locked up somewhere in the clinic and are slated for the Contessa's Good Samaritan brainwashing. If I don't bust them out soon, they'll be working a 9-to-5 job selling shoes, and I'll be out two best friends.
Bentley saves the gang in Jailbreak. So I love how this episode starts off. Instead of it being Sly and the gang or whatever, since it's all about Bentley trying to save Sly and Murray, it's wonderful. So in this episode, we're going to actually do all the missions that lead up to Bentley saving Sly, and it's going to end off with saving off Sly. So we're going to be doing a few missions, not just reconnaissance, it's a bunch of things. So first things first, the alarm clock is one of the most important maneuvers, one of the most important gadgets to purchase. So once you get the funds for it, I would highly recommend buying that.
I should make my way over to the Contessa's house. Maybe I'll pick up a few leads on the location of Sly and Murray.
You know what's funny though is like we're gonna be doing Eavesdrop on Contessa, by the way. You know what's funny? As a kid, I didn't actually like this level for two reasons. One, I wasn't the biggest fan of playing as Bentley in Sly 2. I felt very weak playing as Bentley, but I guess that's kind of the point, right? He's the weakest, he's the smallest character, he doesn't have the greatest mobility, whatever. But at the same time, he's the smartest character, so you have to get around he has to get around his limitations to progress and grow as a character or whatever. And I really love that about Bentley, but as a kid, you know, like I fucking hated it. I was more of a Bentley guy from Sly 3. Bentley was done like given like superpowers in fucking Sly 3, but in Sly 2 I really didn't like it. So I didn't like having the fact that I had to go about and save Sly and then you couldn't play as Murray because the whole rest of the level is to save Murray. Once you save Sly, you save Murray. So like, I didn't really like that about this level. Also, by the way, watch out for this tank. He will end you rather quickly. And the other thing is about this level and the next level is that I was genuinely terrified as a child. Like as a kid, I was a little bitch. I won't lie to you guys. I was afraid of pretty much everything. Ghosts, spiders, whatever. So having the enemy being a Black Widow in a scary-ass spooky town terrified me.
Aha! The Contessa is out making her rounds. Wait a second. The feathers on my sleep darts vibrate near sounds. If I maintain my position on top of this parabolic dish, I should be able to hear that frequency at a distance. This is great! If I tag the Contessa with my darts, I'll be able to listen in on whatever she says. I might even learn where she's locked up Sly and Murray.
Do you guys think Bentley was just thinking that out loud? or do you think like he was actually speaking to himself? Like, do you think that was in his head, or do you think he was just like talking out loud?
The Claw Gang is falling apart. Spice shipments have all but stopped. Hurrah. I never would have joined if I'd known it would be this easy to disrupt the plan. At least the Cooper Gang is under lock and key. Their lopsided morality flies in the face of man's inherent selfishness. Ah well. They'll see it my way soon enough.
So, is the Contessa like immune to the sleep darts? Because I shot her with the sleep dart. Also, this mission's kind of hard because she moves rather quickly, so you have to like stay.
Those fools at Interpol. They keep sending me criminals and I keep making money. How come no one ever thought of this before? Hypnotize criminals and force them to reveal where they've hidden their fortune. I'm a genius. If only I had more spice to help me with the hypnosis.
You have to make sure you got your aim right really quickly and then fire as quickly as you
That
can.
blasted Cooper Gang. The fat one. What's his name? Murray. Yes, Murray. He'll be the first to break. I should spend a few sessions probing that feeble mind. I can only imagine the wealth that gang has accumulated over the years.
It's like she's just thinking out loud, just like speaking to herself, having like a full-blown conversation.
That's Sly Cooper. Such a complex and rebellious mind. A month or two in the hole should break his spirit. Let him squat there week after week. He's seen that the guards along the wall all have motion detectors. There is no escape. Slowly, the reality of his captivity will set in, and I'll get to work on his mind.
Inconceivable! She's no healthcare professional! Why, that's the most heinous crime I've ever heard of! Putting inmates into hypnosis so they'll tell her where they've stashed their loot! It dishonors both law enforcement and thieves at the same time! I should get to work and figure out a way to break Sly out of the hole.
Alright, so next up in this is Train Hack. This mission's pretty fun. If you like hacking minigames, this mission's pretty fun. So hacking makes a return in Sly Cooper. It's done a little changing though since Sly 1. The avatar doesn't really look like Bentley anymore. It's like this weird disc-like spaceship with a tank cannon on top. But it's all 2D and rudimentary and minimalist. It's really cool looking, and it has like a nice computer vibe to it. So it works pretty well. Yeah, but like I was saying, like this level terrified me as a kid because of the enemies, the vultures, the bats, the wolves, the spiders. They fucking terrified me as a kid.
That computer is part of a control system for the electromagnetic train. By hacking all the terminals along the train tracks, I should be able to reverse their polarity, thereby turning the train into a giant projectile. Without question, its impact on the prison walls should create a hole large enough for Sly to escape through.
Damn, Bentley, you gonna use a fucking train as a projectile? Yo, it's wild. So, the hacking minigame is rather simple. It's similar to Sly 1. It's a twin stick shooter, left analog stick moves, right analog stick shoots. As Bentley said. And what's cool about the Sly 2 hacking minigame is that little arrow. It kind of helps understand, like, or not really understand, but like it helps show. Wait, it's so hard talking over Bentley. It shows you exactly pretty much the direction that your bullets are going to be taking at a standstill. So from where your position is being still. If you move, the bullets curve slightly, and it has like this really cool effect where the cannon is slowly turning as it's shooting, and like it looks cool, rather effective. But this is pretty simple. Personally, I like... You know what's funny though? I like both the hacking minigame in Slide 2 and in Slide 1. I think they're both really cool. I like the concept of having like these like clockwork avatars like running around shooting stuff at you. And then you have to like collect these keys by shooting them and then picking them up. I thought that was pretty neat. But I kind of like how simple the Slide 2 one is and like how easy and... Damn, that bomb blew her... That bomb blew up that vulture fucking sky high. But I like how simple the hacking game is, and I like the music in this. Like, even though it's super repetitive and it's only like a 3-second loop or whatever, I like how every time you come back it gets faster. It's just super fun. So I have talked about the enemies real quick. So these guys are fast, they don't shoot, they just tackle you. The first enemies we saw are stationary avatars that shoot you kind of like what Bentley does. Like Bentley's avatar, how it shoots, they shoot, but they're stationary. There are avatars that follow you and lay mines down, which I don't think we'll be seeing until much later. Like these guys are the stationary ones. Soon they'll be like merging them together. Those red dots over there, those are firewalls, so you have to shoot at the firewall. Imagine like hacking was like this in real life. Like, can you imagine that? Just like you have to hack into your Facebook account because you forgot your password or whatever. You just have to play like a fucking minigame, you know? I don't know. This is like the stupid shit that like I think of every once in a while. So yeah, did I talk about the mine? The mine avatars? Like those little, they're like little green guys with like tails, and then they drop circles on the ground. If you touch them, they explode. Yeah, they're like little mine droppers. There are enemies that are slow and shoot you. Like these guys, they're slow guys that just shoot you, and they take multiple hits to kill. They take like 2 or 3 hits. Let's see. 2 hits. Oh, they can even shoot themselves. I forgot about that. Yeah, friendly fire is on everything, by the way. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. Like the enemies can hurt each other on accident. Like if they throw dynamite or like a laser or something, they can get hit by it and get hurt. The flashlight guards can shoot each other. Stuff like that. And in the hacking minigames, if they have some sort of projectile, they can hurt each other. I don't think if they bump into each other they can hurt each other, but they definitely hurt each other when shooting and dropping mines and stuff. So like that little orange guy just took out his little red buddy. So I would probably avoid the blue doors, because that's exactly where those are the exact points where the enemies spawn, and as you can tell, you would hit them if you just happen to be there. And the purpose of the hacking minigames, or like the point of it, is to just make it to like the green doors and beat the level. That's it. It's really simple, but it's really fun. I like how it's all on one map too.
What a beautiful trajectory! Bullseye!
Jesus fuck. Alright, well now that we launched a train into a fucking jail wall, next up it's free Sly Cooper. So we're gonna be bombing the wall. I think that's the last mission that you do as Bentley in this part, at least. Be careful with the wolf statues. Oh my god, that's got half my health. Be careful with the wolf statues. They sometimes are fake statues. They're actual enemies hiding in them. It's pretty neat.
All the guards along the prison wall are outfitted with a motion tracking device. There's no way for Sly to escape. Unless I take those guys out with my RC chopper.
Now this is actually much harder than the one in level 2, where you had to drop bombs on the jet. there are heat-seeking missiles, and the guards themselves can actually shoot you. I get hit more by the guards than I do by the actual missiles themselves. Because the missiles are easy to dodge. The guards themselves actually shoot you straight on, and they shoot really fast. So it's, oops, my bad, sorry, I didn't mean to play. So they're really hard to dodge. Now they each take 2 bombs each, which is impressive, considering the rhinos only took 1. But as long as you drop 2 bombs on vultures, you should be fine. Here's the last guy, and he's gone.
Sly, can you read me?
How I missed that sensuous voice of yours.
Save the jocular comments for later. Do you see that hook above the train?
Yeah?
It's your only means of escape. Jump and hit the circle button to grab hold. Then swing onto the back of the train. I've already established a safe house and downloaded its GPS coordinates into your binocucom. We'll rendezvous there.
Wow, you've really thought of everything.
Don't I always?
Yeah, you do. Thanks for busting me out.
Oh, well, you know the old saying, if you can't count on a friend to bust you out of jail, what kind of a friend are they?
Truer words were never said, wizard.
Alrighty, so now the mission's to just make it back to the safe house, all safe and sound, and that'll end this video. Or rather, that'll end this video, and then there's gonna be like a slideshow cutscene to get Murray out of here, because there is no recon in this game, in this level. It's just straight up save Sly, and then day 2 is save Murray, and then that's the operation. So we already did day 1, which is great. Next up, we're going to be doing the bottles in the next episode. Which I don't know this level like the back of my hand like I did episode 1 and 2. 3 was kind of where I knew like where a lot of the bottles were off the top of my head, but like not enough to, I don't know, to not spend like 5 minutes looking for them. That makes any sense. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Okay, here's the situation. I've done some deep database crunching and figured out that Murray is doing time in cell block D. Getting him out is going to be tough. As you know, he's not very light on his feet. First, we'll need to get Murray into an isolation cell away from the other inmates. Second, I'll need you to get a sample of the Contessa's encryption algorithm. Don't worry, I'll explain later. Third, you'll need to pickpocket a few keys from the Contessa, but watch out for her pack of bodyguards. And fourth, you'll have to deactivate her giant attack robot. No, really, Sly, I'm serious. The Contessa has a giant attack robot. It just looks like a water tower. Now, once you've pulled off all these jobs, we'll be ready to make a play for the big guy.